Let me tell you about an awesome game. Originally released in 2022, Pokémon Emerald Rogue, made by PokeAbby, was an amazing combination of everyone's favorite creature collector and a genre whose main mechanic is dying. It compressed the experience of playing through a Pokémon game, beating the gym leaders and becoming the champion, into a less than 5-hour journey, if you're not using speed up, that gives you all the same emotional moments of strategy and sacrifice that a Nuzlocke would. I adore this game. In fact, it's what I first started streaming with a year ago back over on Twitch. The creator of this game had gone silent since then, assuring us she was still working on the game, but not giving us anything concrete. Until now. Pokémon Emerald Rogue 2.0, essentially a soft sequel to the original, is, and I am not saying this lightly, the best Pokémon game in existence. It retains the gameplay loop of a condensed Pokémon adventure with permadeath, but adds onto it an insane amount of new features, customization, balancing, and polish. You start by selecting your appearance from almost every trainer model up to Gen 9, customize their skin color and their clothing color, and get tossed right into the action, running over to the Safari Zone to pick a random starter. I managed to snatch up a cute little horse, look at this baby, she's so cute, whose endurance would carry many of my runs. The town you land in is actually your own this time around. You get to name it, upgrade it with building materials you earn from quests, and even get to decide where the new areas go. Before you embark on your first journey, however, I would urge you to look at your options menu, because the amount of customization is staggering, and you'll unlock even more as you beat your first run. You get to handpick your difficulty settings, making sure anyone can enjoy this game no matter their level of skill, whether you want to fight in single battles or double battles, whether you want permadeath or not, whether you want to gain EVs to make your Pokémon more powerful than your opponents, or not. And my favorite, a native speed-up feature that lets me enjoy all the music and animations in the game without feeling like a slog. This is especially appreciated since, believe it or not, this game is entirely playable on a physical cartridge of Pokémon Emerald, if you know how to patch it on there. No longer will you have to choose between a nicely paced game or the authenticity of a Game Boy Advance. Once you're finally out on the field, the journey is much the same as it was in 1.0, though with many quality of life improvements. The routes are now colored to better indicate what type of Pokémon they contain. Pokémon roam out and about, which makes it feel so much more alive. Held items are no longer consumable, meaning things like gems and focus sashes are a lot nicer to use and won't completely ruin your wallet. And in general, there has been a lot of balancing and updating to different locations and mechanics. I can't go over everything, and also I don't want to spoil it all, so I'll just say you should go explore this stuff yourself. Or watch me do it on stream, hint hint nudge nudge. I also want to note that in your first few runs, you'll always be fighting gym leaders from the same generation, which is based on the character model you picked. Don't worry, you'll get more options later on. In between attempts, and as you complete more quests, you'll also be getting building materials, which really elevate the progression in this game. You can open a park where a guy will rip you off, teach you how to ride Pokémon in exchange for some money, opening up more locations on routes. You can open a daycare to let you carry more Pokémon into your runs and store them for later, where you can also change your Pokémon's gender. You can open a berry farm to, well, farm berries, and a market to turn those berries into Pokéblocks to increase your Pokémon's IVs, or even make a Pokémon of yours that you love into a shiny. Any items you buy or obtain in your town will also be carried into runs, meaning you can slowly but surely gather a collection of powerful mints, or held items or healing items that can make each run go further. After you have beaten your first run, the game truly opens up. You will unlock a whole host of new quests, challenges, and gameplay alterations that will ensure you can keep throwing yourself into adventures with a fresh experience every time. You can turn on battle gimmicks like terrestrialization, change the way healing works to give it an even more roguelike feel, or try a whole new game mode like the Gauntlet mode, where you go into a run with a team of 6 Pokémon, prepare them at a big rest stop, and then fight every boss back to back, which is great if you want to play a run but don't have the time to do a full standard mode attempt. This is also where you unlock challenges, a new type of quest that incentivize you to entirely change how you approach the game, from monotype teams to only enabling trainers and Pokémon from a single generation, to beating the game with a random starter and randomizing your full team every chance you get. These challenges also share something else in common. They reward you with a shiny Pokémon for increasing the difficulty of the game. Now, hard mode is no joke. Of course, the AI becomes smarter and the enemies get stronger Pokémon, but the main difference, to me at least, is in the lack of EVs. You can't actually actively train your Pokemon's EVs, but whenever you fight a trainer, on average difficulty runs, your team will gain EVs in every stat, though none in whichever stat is lowered by their nature and double in the stat that is increased. This normally means that the Pokemon you've had with you for a while tend to be stronger and more bulky and faster, etc., allowing you to take more risks. Hard mode attempts take that away from you, making many fights a lot more dangerous, and many Pokemon that normally rely on EVs to really bring out their full potential far less useful. However, it is important to note that this is entirely optional. You get plenty of shinies by playing, and you can even chain them in this game, so if you want to just have fun and not worry about the increased challenge, the normal difficulty still awards you with all the important rewards. People who enjoy Nuzlockes and competitive battling often tend to gatekeep Pokemon ROM hacks, but with how good this game is, I really want to make sure as many people play it as possible. Hell, if you think you'll get frustrated with this game, set the difficulty even lower, or use save states. It's your playthrough after all. I'm going to talk about something endgame related now, so for those of you who want a completely fresh and unspoiled experience, go to this timestamp. You can sort of see this mechanic in the quest book after you've beaten your first run, challenges that reward you with a Pokemon in a blue Pokeball. These are something called exotic Pokemon. They have unique abilities and moves, like this Farfetch'd with sharpness, that allow them to fulfill different niches or just be more powerful than their regular siblings. After you've completed every single main quest, you will get access to a terminal to hunt down exotic Pokemon, and they are so cool. Feels like every Pokemon can potentially be viable this way. Hell, look at this Burmy with Grassy Surge and Tail Glow. I don't know if these are all handpicked or randomized, but either way, they really spice up your monotype runs by letting you use more niche Pokemon, and they also provide something fun to do in the endgame besides just challenge quests, going out there to hunt these timed exotic Pokemon. I only discovered this mechanic a few days ago, and I have been so excited to hunt down more of them. Now, I have saved the best new addition for last, as it is currently still in development, but already very functional. Multiplayer. That's right, this game allows you to go on adventures online with your friends. Currently you can't battle together, but with how much new content is already in 2.0, I see no reason to complain. If anything, this just allows us to get more hyped for when full multiplayer releases, and we can actually, for real, enjoy a Pokemon game completely with a friend. I cannot recommend this game more highly. I mean, I just made a whole video outlining all the cool stuff in it, and you watched it all the way to the end. So really, I don't know what you're still waiting for. Go download the game, set the difficulty as high or as low as you want, with or without permadeath that Nuzlockers like me for some reason enjoy, and have fun. Or come watch me play this game on stream, probably at least once or twice a week since it's currently my comfort game. Thank you for watching. I know this wasn't my usual style of video, but I really wanted to spread the news of this game's existence. As I've mentioned in the beginning, I would not be streaming or making videos if it weren't for Emerald Rogue, and I've been enjoying it a lot, so making a review is the least I can do. Leave a like if you enjoyed, a comment if you have any thoughts you want to share, and a strongly worded letter sent by carrier pigeon if you think my hat is too big.